Hello and welcome into Wednesday afternoon's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Hicks, for this show, as well as your lead beat writer for Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And I'm so grateful to be joining you today in anticipation of Arizona State's massive battle against Colorado this Saturday of the football variety. The Sun Devils were obviously slated as the number 25 team in the nation by the NCAA selection committee, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, and really just got to take care of business, win the last two games, and see how the chips fall, however they will. That's really all you can do as Kenny Dillingham and as the coaching staff is concerned, as far as all of them are concerned. And really, yeah, that's all there is to it. There's a possibility that Jordan Tyson is back this week. We will know a lot more tonight, or by the time this recording drops, we already will have known more. So stay tuned about Tyson's status as well in the coming days. And that leads me into discussing Arizona State basketball. So the Sun Devils traveled to Hawaii for a big week. It's going to be a week-long endeavor in Hawaii. They are obviously going to play in the Maui Invitational Tournament, which we will discuss shortly. But they have a tune-up game. Obviously, they have to try to get used to the different conditions that Hawaii presents, including a 3-hour time difference between Arizona and the state of Hawaii. And yeah, the game against Hawaii is obviously on the road. The Rainbow Warriors are a pretty good team. They are 4-1 on the season. Their only loss was a singular point loss to Oregon in the season opener. They lost 60-59, and ever since then, they have really dominated their competition. They've won games by 26 points, by 32 points, by 30 points, by 6 points. They beat Utah Tech by 6. So that's the closest win they've had all season. Arizona State beat them by 15. So there's a little bit of a difference there, but do not sleep on Hawaii. They will be a challenge. Arizona State struggled to beat Georgia State on Monday night. Even though they dominated in much of the second half, they had to scratch and claw to get to that point. And Hawaii is a very, very surprisingly a deep team. They have 7 players that average at least 6 points per game. They have, I believe, 10 players that have played in every single game this season to this point. They are a pretty deep team. They are pretty efficient. They aren't as great of a 3-point shooting team collectively, but they do have some really, really great individual shooters. They have 4 players that are shooting 45% from 3 or better. They are led by Isaac Johnson, a dynamic big man who's really broken out this season. He's averaging 15 points and 9 rebounds a game. 7 foot tall. Started his career at Oregon, and he's really come into his own this season in what is likely his senior season. We'll see how the next couple of years pan out due to eligibility things, but Hawaii is going to be a challenge for Arizona State. I think they should win, but are they going to win? That's a whole different conversation. I think that the growth that they've shown offensively, particularly, is encouraging. I think that they still operate very independently of each other. I think that there's a lot more intention in the offense this year compared to last season, even though there might not be the same talent level. And I still think the Sun Devils should head into the Maui tournament with a 5-1 record. So no, 4-1 record. My bad. And that leads me into talking about the Maui tournament as a whole. So their first game of the Invitational is going to be against Texas on Monday night, this upcoming Monday. That will be a fun battle, very fun battle, and I think most fans know the ties between the two teams right now. The main storyline, I suppose, is the connection between Sean Miller and Bobby Hurley. We all know Miller and Hurley coached against each other for several years as bitter rivals. Miller was the coach of the University of Arizona, and Hurley was the coach of Arizona State. There's no love lost between those two, and it's going to be fun because it's a rebuilt Arizona State squad against a rebuilt Texas squad after firing Rodney Terry. So that might be the most intriguing game of the opening round of the Maui Invitational, because when you think of Maui Invitational, you usually think of Kansas and UConn and other blue blood level programs participating in it. But there are really no blue blood level programs participating this year, so it'll be interesting to see. I think that there's potential for a much more interesting Maui Invitational than it was anticipated before the season to be, because a lot of these teams just simply look better than anticipated, including Arizona State. Texas has been pretty good. There's obviously room for improvement there, but USC has started the season undefeated. Seton Hall has started the year undefeated. NC State is ranked in the top 25 of the AP poll. So we'll see how it goes. This is assuming Arizona State wins the game. They would face the winner of Washington State and Chaminade. So we can presume it's Washington State there. That would trigger a game on November 25th, which would be Tuesday afternoon. It would be a 6 p.m. game. I believe, yes, it would be a 6 p.m. game on that Tuesday to see who gets to play in the championship game. Washington State, it's tough to gauge them because they frequently have NBA caliber talent on their roster, at least have in recent years, but they have started the season a little rough. They're 1-3 so far. They lost to Idaho, they lost to Davidson, they lost to Washington. So is there a possibility that Chaminade wins? Yeah, but I would say that it's more likely Washington State ends up prevailing, and that could prove to be a path to the title game for Arizona State. And the title game would be challenging. They'd have to play one of Seton Hall, NC State, USC, and Boise State. I can assume that's probably going to be either NC State or USC in this scenario. And NC State would be an ideal opponent for Arizona State on that Thursday. That would be a Thursday game. It would tip off, it would be a Wednesday game, the day before Thanksgiving. It would be a 12:30 tip-off for the championship, and it'll be fascinating to see how that turns out. NC State would, like I said, they're ranked number 25 right now, and they've looked very, very, very good so far this season in year one of the Will Wade era, and they are led by Darian Williams, forward, who averages 23 points per game, shoots 61% from the floor, so that would obviously be a challenge that Arizona State would not be the most happy to go up against. I mean, we've seen that last year. Darian Williams had a great game against Arizona State as a member of Texas Tech. So NC State is a prime opportunity to pick up a huge win, probably a quadrant one victory. But we'll see how things play out. As of right now, Arizona State does have a pretty favorable path to getting to the championship game in Maui. And I will be covering it for each and every one of you. And thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition of the Sun Devils Insider Podcast. And I will see you with another episode tomorrow.